Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Zacian here, bringing you some more Pokemon GO Battle League content. This week's videos are done in the Master League Classic because I'm not messing around with XLs. I don't have a wallet for that. So we're just sticking out around level 40 Master League this week. Master League's definitely not my strong league, so I'm just doing the one video, and then we're looking forward to Sinnoh Cup and then all the stuff that comes afterwards. So without further ado, here's the team. We got a Zacian on the lead, just like everybody else. We're running the double debuff moveset with Close Combat and Wild Charge. Don't mess around with Play Rough. We have a Togekiss in the back for that. It is a bit of an AAB team, but I don't see it that way because of the way that Zacian just core breaks everything. Its job is basically get shields and save shields for Togekiss or Dialga to basically sweep the backline. Dialga's standard, best buddy as well. Got that shiny flex on him too, so I think that's about it. Let's get into these battles here, and there's going to be some kabooms today, ladies and gentlemen. This team was suggested to me by fellow battler and patron subscriber, Colorblind Tony. He brought that Steve to the patron Discord. We've been rocking socks with it, so if that's something that you'd like, early access videos, coaching, and meta tips, as well as team suggestions from myself and my patron subscribers, shout out to you guys as well. Link in the description. Please join us. We're happy to have you, and it's a fun little circle we've got in there. So anyway, for these battles here, we've got the Master League here. I love the Master League so much, but I'm just so bad at it. We've got a Zacian Mirror lead here. The thing with Zacian lead, like, if you're playing against it, you want to wait until the opponent throws their first debuffing move. And then what you can do from there is use usually 4 shields at that point. Now, I usually look to overfarm because I don't want to throw first, so my opponent does throw first here. And they built up the 2 wild charges, and what I like to do is I try to swap in my Dialga to catch the second back-to-back wild charge. My opponent doesn't fall for it. And I'm going to let this one go. It's going to be a close combat. Oh, it hurts. It's a lot of damage, but they swap out into their Togekiss looking to charm me down, but I'm able to get to an Iron Head prior to the charm down. So we're going to throw the Iron Head and hopefully get a shield off my opponent. We're going to deal a lot of damage. Gets them for a good chunk of their HP. We go down to charm. Zacian's going to come in. Nope, Togekiss is going to come in now and charm down. They're still fairies. I got to mix them up once in a while. It would make it interesting. So Togekiss comes in. Now the thing with Togekiss is the Zacian spent all of its energy, so they're going to have to get up to a move. And I know they're probably running a Wild Charge because they threw it at me earlier. Which means the charms are going to hurt that much more if my opponent decides not to swap out. Meanwhile, I've got shields to deal with it. So I'm going to throw the Ancient Power here. A little bit of chip damage and or get a boost. I never get the Ancient Power boost. It's only my opponents who ever seem to get the damn boost. My opponent does have a second Wild Charge. I will spend my other shield here. I assume that whatever they have in the back probably doesn't like Togekiss. And I'm quite correct in that it's a Dialga. So here's the win condition here, folks. I come in and elbow close combat the Dialga in this game. They do have to get to another move against the other Zacian, but I'm pretty sure they're energy dry to the point where they probably won't be able to throw another move before I can get to another Wild Charge, because I'm already pretty close to one. So I'm going to throw the double close combat here. My opponent's Dialga goes down, and their Zacian comes in and is going to go down to one more Wild Charge, and that is going to be a good game. Well played. Takes it out. There we have it. Alright, getting into this next game here. Now, there's so many Zacian leads, it's ridiculous. But we get the Ho-Oh. This is the other half of the coin where you get mauled. So Ho-Oh has playing against my whole team, but that's why I'm running Wild Charge, right? I don't want to get walled by anything. So Wild Charge and Close Combat can put a pretty good dent in the meta. And I noticed that the Ho-Oh goes over 100 energy here. And so I just decided, you know, I'm going to throw. I'm just going to see if I can get it. And if they shield it, then I'll dip. I'll probably dip either way because I don't want to take any boosted damage. But they take a Wild Charge to the face, swaps out the Dialga to catch the move, and I'm hoping it's a Brave Bird, but my opponent throws the freaking Earthquake, and I get kaboom, and then they're going to bring in their Dialga to finish off mine. Now, I am left with 2 choices. I'm either I have to come with Zacian, who's got a ton of energy, and that's what I do. So the other option would be to Charm Down, which I don't want to deal with Iron Heads and Shields with the Ho-Oh in the back. So I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to throw this Close Combat. And my opponent is going to get to an Iron Head here, so I am going to put up a shield, I believe. Yep, there's the shield. And I should be able to withstand a lot of Dragon Breath damage, given that it's double resisted, to get to a couple of close combats, just to ensure that we take out the Dialga here. And my opponent is probably going to just let this go at this point. They got a shield off of me, and they can just come in with Ho-Oh. Ah, there it goes. Takes him out. This is the League of Nukes. So I go for the Wild Charge here, hoping they come in with the Ho-Oh. It was so low, I should have just gone for close combat regardless. My opponent comes in with the Zekrom, and they're able to completely absorb that Wild Charge damage. So good for them. Good job on them getting with that. But that's the House Stark team, I believe. The Ho-Oh Double Dragon. I would love to run that team, but I don't have a Ho-Oh. Trust me, if I had a Ho-Oh, this team we're facing right here, this is my favorite Master League team. Now, I do take the Brave Bird while I'm talking my ass off. We take the Brave Bird because honestly, I wasn't sure how much damage it was going to do, and I found out, and it hurt. So they're able to take out Togekiss. Their Ho-Oh is going to go down to a couple more Snarls. I thought it was only one more Snarl, but it must have been a third Snarl. Now the Zekrom comes in, has a move loaded, but I've got a shield, and I am just shy of a close combat or wild charge. So I'm going to be able to get to the close combat and take this game out. Zacian putting in work today in the Master League. Now, it puts in a lot of work every day, though. I mean, you see these things. They're on literally at least 80% of teams at this point. But that's how good it is, man. All right. Picking up an amazing lead against Dialga here. My opponent opts to stay in, so they may have something that doesn't like Zacian in the back. So they get the Iron Head before I get to double close combat. Well, if you're playing with the Dialga lead, you're going to shield the Iron Head probably anyway. You can tank one if you want to. But if they're staying in with Dialga, I have a case to think that my Zacian's probably going to be good later on in the game. So I'm going to throw Wild Charges at the Shadow Mewtwo here that just swapped in, and they're going to go ahead and shield the first one. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the second one. Now I'm either going to do a lot of damage with this Mewtwo, or I'm going to be able to get their other shield. And off the Shadow Mewtwo, we get a good amount of HP, and I come in with Dialga to try and Dragon Breath down, but they're able to get to a side strike just in time. So I'm going to take that because it is the resisted damage. They only got 5 Psycho Cuts off. We are going to come in and finish off the Dialga with the Dragon Breath. Now they're going to come in with their own Dialga, and I'm only getting one of these moves here, so I'm just going to go straight for the Draco Meteor. I'm going to get the shield, or I'm going to take this out. And what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to get one of those two things because I know that Zacian can handle the Dialga, and it's probably going to be fine against whatever's in the back. So they are able to Dragon Breath down Dialga here, and I'm going to come back in with Zacian, knowing that they have to get to another Iron Head in order to do anything. They will get to the Iron Head here, and I'm probably going to shield. Yep, I'm shielding here, noticing that my Zacian has a lot of play against whatever they've got in the back, and my opponent is going to eat a close combat here because I believe they're out of shields. I didn't need to, but the music was on pause, so I went ahead and hit it anyway. And they're going to come with Giratina. So yeah, they were probably afraid of the Play Rough. That Giratina actually would have effectively walled my Zacian. But there's no way they would really know that unless they had seen the Wild Charge. Now we're going to get hit with a Shadow Ball, and then my opponent does concede. They might have thought that maybe I still had Play Rough. I'm not sure. But anyway, next battle here, we got Zacian on the lead into a Giratina. Now this is a tricky lead because the Giratina actually walls Zacian, and since last season I think they know it. Now what I used to do is I used to throw 5 Snarls and throw a close combat and dip. But I think they're kind of smart to that whole thing now. So yeah, I'm gonna get clapped. I'm gonna get clapped pretty hard. Ooh, that hurts. It hurts real bad. But the thing I learned about the Dialga matchup is you can absorb a close combat, and you can still get to possibly 2 Iron Heads depending on how quickly they were able to swap in. So we should be able to see that here. Gonna be able to get to the Iron Head. Not quite, but almost. We're just off. So we're gonna come in with Togekiss. And typically the Zacians in the back don't run Wild Charge. They run Play Rough Close Combat. So I'm hoping on that. They do run the Play Rough. Does about half HP out of Togekiss. And I'm looking to just Charm down, knowing here that they are faced basically with a situation where that Giratina has to either come back in or get whooped. Now they're going to come with a Togekiss. They're giving up swap to come in with Togekiss. They don't know that I'm running Wild Charge. My opponent's going to find out real fast that we're running Wild Charge. I will let this go because it was just the Ancient Power. And I'm going to look to build up to 2 Wild Charges and let them both rip on my opponent. Now one of these 2 is going to connect, and my Togekiss with Shield can finish off the rest of this team. Oh, he takes the Wild Charge. He wasn't expecting it. And now the Giratina is going to be able to come back in and farm me down. That's actually kind of scary. But what I'm going to look to do here is get a couple of Wild Charges off, since that is the least amount of resisted, or least resisted move that I can throw at this thing. And yeah, not even going to get there. They're just going to get there. They're going to be able to get to a couple of moves. Now I do get a Charm through, which might be helpful here. But they Ominous Wind bait me, which, I mean, they don't even need to go for Shadow Ball at this point. I'm going for the Ancient Power. I'm praying to God maybe I get a boost here. But yeah, I'm pretty much done at this point. That's going to be pretty much a good game here. Yeah, they get to the move, they're going to take out the Togekiss, and that is going to be well played by my opponent. That Giratina is the bane of my existence. Despite having two strong things against it in the back, my opponent knows how to keep my Zacian walled up against my Zacian against their Giratina. So this person switches out immediately, and they're going to go straight to their own Zacian. So I know I'm a turn ahead of them, so they're going to throw first, and I throw first. So typically I would wait for them to throw, but I think in this point, because I can go ahead and throw the Wild Charge, I'll just dip out, go straight to Togekiss, hoping to catch a move. I'm hoping this is a play rough and not a Wild Charge. Again, that is, again, the one in the back. So they get me with a Wild Charge. Oh, they got me. Oh, no. All right, so, but they are debuffed, and I'm going to look to go ahead and charm them down. I think they were going to move, but I don't know why they didn't throw. Maybe they were just looking to get some farm from their Dialga. Either way, I'm able to get to a Flamethrower here, I think. Yeah, just barely able to get to that Flamethrower to deal some neutral damage to this Dialga before I go down. And going to be able to come back in with Zacian here and effectively do what the Zacian does with 2 shields and some energy. Let's throw some close combats. No, we're going to come in with Dialga instead. I did these battles a few days ago, so forgive me for not recalling every instance of the battles here. But they're going for the Draco Meteor. I need to shield this, and they're just going to give up. I think that whatever they had in the back is probably no good against Dialga. So good game to my opponent. But ultimately, I think whatever they had in the back just wasn't going to cut it. So, Excadrill. Now, this is actually not a terrible lead because we have close combat. My opponent's going to continue farming up until I throw a move, most likely. So, I can't really let this thing see my backline either. So, I'm throwing just a little bit past 100 energy because I wanted to see if they would throw first so I could no shield. But they smartly decide not to. And so now they're going to throw because my shields are going to be required to keep my Zacian alive. So, that being said, they're going to throw some drill runs. I'm going to try and keep throwing moves. I'm able to sneak in a Snarl, which is going to be huge, and you'll find out why. My opponent has effectively lowered themselves down to about 1 or 2 mud shots worth of energy, so they're about 2 or 3 right now. And I'm going to throw this close combat here, and they are going to shield it up. But now I'm able to get to this one before they get to the 5th mud shot. We're going to be able to take them out. So that one Snarl sneaking through was huge for us. Now, there goes the Excadrill. My team is now ready to do what it needs to do because the steel in the front is gone. My opponent most likely is not packing another steel type in the back or anti-Dialga in the back. So I'm going to be able to just do that. I'm going to hit the kaboom button because that still hurts it hurts. So I'm going to throw an Iron Head here, just looking to do some chip damage, take this thing out if I can before it gets to another move. And then we're going to let the Dragon Breath do what the Dragon Breath do. Zekrom comes in, and I've got 2 extremely hard answers to the Zekrom, despite them having Wild Charge on that Zekrom. So, going to tank it. Oh, it does more damage than I anticipated. It takes out Zacian, and so now all I can do is just Charm down before they get to a move and we're good. So, no big deal there. Zacian being a meat shield at the end of that battle was huge. So, Kyogre comes in. Now, Kyogre's rough because, you know, surfs, waterfalls, those hurt. I don't have a Kyogre myself yet. Maybe someday when they come back to raids, I'll remember to raid it. But, gonna go for the Wild Charge here, looking to surprise my opponents. No, I throw it, I think it was 6. I throw a 5 or 6 here because I want them to think that I'm running Play Rough and not Shield. But they smartly shield, so I'm going to come in with my Dialga, and they're going to come in with Excadrill. Now, the thing with the Dialga-Excadrill matchup is I can get to the Draco Meteor before they can take me out with a Drill Run if the swap happens at the right time. They don't shield the Draco Meteor, which is huge. We take Switch from the opponent and keep 2 shields, and their best reply is to come back in with Kyogre. Although my attack is lowered from the Draco Meteor, I'm still able to put enough pressure on the Kyogre and they get the Blizzard. That's worth a kaboom. They're going to come in. They're going to hit me with the Blizzard. I'm going to come in with the Zacian. I'm going to look to get up to a couple of Wild Charges here. Now, I do have to shield this because the Surf is going to be enough to take me out from this range. So I do opt to shield up, and my opponent will stay in. But they will go and they will catch on the Metagross. Now, Metagross is one of the hardest counters to Zacian in this Master League because of the Bullet Punch damage. But it's yeah, this thing's going to beat the rest of my backline, so I need to play this very quick, very carefully. Now, I've got a shield. My opponent has a Metagross. Now, Charm still chunks a little bit, even though it's a Metagross, and I am looking to shield this. Last second decision here. I'm looking to get this thing as low as possible, throw a move here. They should shield this, because their Metagross is the answer to taking me out. Now, remember, Zacian still has a move left. So if I can get this thing down... Now, they throw energy here, which is beautiful, because if I can get my Zacian in, I can do a couple of Snarls and take this thing out. But I'm going to get 1, 2, 3 Snarls before they're able to do anything about it, and then I'm going to be able to hit that Wild Charge, take Kyogre out, take the game against what would have normally been absolute havoc wreaked on my team here. Wasn't a lot of damage, but you know what? It was worth it, because that Metagross was scary, man. Alright, so we're going into this next game here. We've got our Zacian on the lead versus another Zacian. Big surprise. So we're going to see how this one plays out. I've noticed a lot more Zacian running Play Rough in the lead, despite the Wild Charge variant honestly being better for the lead. But, so once again, waiting for my opponent to throw, and I have one of those rare instances where we have a Snarl off. And so we just sit here, and sit here, and sit here till somebody throws a damn Wild Charge. So... I opt to take the first move here. I'm just going to throw the Wild Charge. I assume that my opponent's probably going to throw immediately after I do. So I'm actually looking to dip immediately and catch the Wild Charge on Dialga. That's the one time it actually works out. So I take an absolutely resisted Wild Charge, and my opponent is going to throw a close combat. So this I will shield up, because they did take the time to hit that button and try and take out my Dialga. So they're going to look to swap out, come with their own Dialga now. And what is mostly a neutral matchup here because of the two Mons having the same, basically everything. But I'm going to go for the Draco, because I will not make it to a second Iron Head to try and bait shields or anything of the sort. And my opponent shields it up, so we're going to be even shields. They're going to have a ton of energy to throw whatever the hell I bring back in. But I've got 2 fairies, so it's either Iron Heads or Iron Heads. And I have to shield it, because otherwise I don't really have a chance here. So... I am going to go ahead and go for the double close combat here. Being able to take my opponent's Dialga and or a shield is going to be really helpful here, considering they had a Zacian in the lead and it is absolutely energy dry right now. I'm going to go ahead and throw the close combat here, make sure we can take out this Dialga, claps it in the cheeks, going to take him out, and then they're going to come back in with Zacian, who is energy dry, and I'm looking to come in with Togekiss. I probably should have come in a little bit sooner. I don't know if the switch clock was not up yet or not, but... their Zacian is going to almost take out Togekiss with a Wild Charge, and we're going to see what comes in the back. And it's a Yveltal. It's a Yveltal. This is... You couldn't ask for a better situation. Like, Yveltal is hard-walled by the rest of my team. So we're going to be able to just take this Yveltal out. I love Yveltal. I ran it in my Master League teams the season it came out, and it clapped so many Dialgas. It was wonderful. But with the release of Zacian, unfortunately, it just isn't... It's not as good anymore unless you can clear out the Zacian. But anyway, we're getting that perfect lead against the Dialga in the lead again. My opponent may be bold, or they may dip. They're going to be the bold, so they're going to stay in and play this one out, at least try and get a shield off of me here. I'm going to go straight for close combats, but they're going to get to the Iron Head before me, so yet again, we do shield this up just to ensure that we do survive with plenty of HP to spare. And then my opponent tries to catch, as they sometimes often do, but to no avail. I will be able to get this Wild Charge off on their Zacian, even though they don't have any energy, they don't have any moves. I'm not going to try and catch and be fancy. I'm just going to come in with Togekiss, look to shield once if I can. They're probably running Play Rough, so I do not shield. I expect them not to be running Wild Charge because they're in the back, and because they're running Play Rough, they won't be able to get another move off, and I will be able to take it out with Charm. And then, after we wait out the switch clock, my opponent smartly waiting out the switch clock. They're going to go with Kyogre. I'm going to go for the Ancient Power. It is neutral. It's better than the Resistant Flamethrower. And then maybe get a boost? Of course not. Never get a boost. Never boost me. But that's okay. We've got Wild Charges. We've got Dialga. And now I come in real quick to try and take my opponent off guard here and clap him with a Wild Charge. I want to see if I can get them off guard or if I can get a shield out of them. And they do shield it. And they throw the move. Now, because it wasn't a CMP tie, they threw the Surf, and it's going to get resisted by Dialga. Perfectly caught on our part here. and the Kyogre looks to swap out into the Dialga, and because it's a 1-to-1 shield situation, I'm pretty confident here that if I can either get their last shield or take out their Dialga, then Zacian closes this game out pretty well, because my opponent's Kyogre just threw the energy into the Zacian, or they were trying to throw into the Zacian, and they failed to do so. So I'm going to shield up this Iron Head. Now what I need to do here is I need to farm down the Dialga, and it has a lot of energy, so this is going to be a very risky situation. Not able to get it. Unfortunately, we were one Snarl short, and my opponent's Dialga will be able to get the Iron Head, and takes out Dialga, or Dialga takes out the Zacian, unfortunately. Close, close, close. Good game. Alright, Zarude coming in now. My entire team beats Zarude, and I feel bad for this poor monkey, so just going to let it do it at once. I just recently finished my Zarude. I actually played my sets today. Had one good set, and the rest were awful. So, while it's a wonderfully fun thing to run, you got to have an aptitude for it, and I apparently didn't have it. So, anyway, my opponent comes up with an Excadrill. Perfect answer to the Dialga. They get me with a Drill Run, and I'm going to look to get this Draco off here. Either my opponent gets Shield taken away from them, or they lose their Excadrill. Simple as that. Nah, they shield. My opponent knows Draco Meteor will take them out, so they will farm me all the way down, which is actually really scary, because I cannot let this thing near my Togekiss, because it will absolutely destroy me. So, Drill Run comes in, gets about 40% off the Zacian. Now, I'm going to look to throw one Snarl, and then I'm going to look to throw the close combat here. And I want to see if my opponent wants to give up a shield. No, they take the close combat to the face. I'm able to come back in. They come in with a I've pretty much lost this game. I don't really see any other win cons, but I'm going to keep going. I'm going to see what I can do here. I do have some play against their team. I am going to have to shield up this Earthquake bait here. Throwing a Brave Bird would be a death sentence this early into the game. Now I'm going to throw the Ancient Power. I'm hoping my opponent maybe shields it, not knowing how much it does. Maybe I get that boost. Shield and no boost. That was the worst case scenario, I feel. Now, my opponent's looking to farm up to basically 100 energy, so at this point, I need to save a shield or something. So I do get to shield up another Earthquake bait, like an absolute champion, but I'm able to get to this Ancient Power before they're able to finish that next Incinerate, which means I'm taking out the and all that's left is this Zarude with Grass and Dark moves, which means it's completely walled here. Now, they're going to throw that Power Whip. I'm going to come in with Zacian, and I'm going to look to close combat this Zarude down for the V for victory. Almost takes it out. Zarude is a chunky monkey, man. This thing can take a beating, and it's going to be able to get to a move against my Zacian right before I'm able to take it out. However, one more charm from Togekiss will take out the Zarude, and that is a good game. I played to my opponent, though. That was pretty fun. And this last battle against the man who brought the team to us himself, Colorblind Tony. Zacian Lee, this is a literal mirror game. We're playing the exact same team, so we're just going to see who plays it better here. Spoiler alert, it's not me! So, I'm looking to hopefully catch a Wild Charge on my Dialga, and that was the one mistake that I made that probably cost me this whole match, is not playing out that lead matchup. So, my opponent, Colorblind Tony, here is going to be able to get off a close combat, get to his own Dialga, and now that he's up his shield, he's going to be able to just do whatever he wants at this point. I'm going to look to go for an Iron Head. I want to shape damage, maybe fake that I have the Draco Meteor. He does not shield because he's a smart man, and I'm going to look to Dragon Breath down, but he will get one more move off. I'm hoping that this is an Iron Head so that I might have a chance to Dragon Breath down. And it's an Iron Head, so I'm going to be able to take Switch here, although it's really not going to help me too much because now he's going to be able to come back in with Zacian and basically just farm me all the way down. And I am able to get to this Iron Head, which will force a shield off my opponent here. Hopefully. Yeah, it gets the shield. I look to swap out into my own Zacian. I'm going to take a non-debuffed move here, likely the Wild Charge. Yep, there's the Wild Charge, takes me out. I'm looking to get back at him with my own Wild Charges. Now that he's debuffed, he's going to have to eat this damage debuffed. And he takes it, and he's going to come in with his Togekiss. And now my stupid self with a double debuffed Zacian is not going to be able to get a Wild Charge off on this Togekiss in time. We just missed it. And now I'm going to try to come up with my own Togekiss, and I feel like I'm doing alright. I've got one shield up on this guy. My Togekiss comes in. He's got his Togekiss in. For some reason, we don't get the move snuck through, even though the turns are exactly the same. I no shield, which is another mistake by me, because now he's going to be able to charm me down despite me using this ancient power. And unfortunately, Zacian's going to have enough HP to face out here. So I come in hoping to absorb energy, absorb the damage off the move, maybe take him out before he can take me out, and it's just barely not enough. Good game, Tony. That was a fantastic game. Oh, alright. So basically, yeah, this is going to be my Master League team for the rotation. I don't have a Master League roster that's worth a damn yet, so I can't really put together any cool, spicy lines. I'm missing Ho-Oh, Kyogre, Groudon, and probably like 40 other things. So, thanks everybody for watching. I think that was an incredible display of my non-ability to play Master League. So, hope you guys enjoyed these battles and the content. If you did, like the video, comment down below how your Master League battles are going, and go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. I do videos every week, sometimes more often depending on the work schedule. I really hope to see you back here again soon. Thank you for checking out these videos, and again, if you want coaching, or if you just want meta tips, team advice, or just basically anything under the sun that I can help you with for GBL, I got a Patreon link in the description that gives you exclusive access to my Discord and early access to all my videos. I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you, and bye-bye.